Your Excellency, Dr. Abiy Ahmed, Prime Minister of the Federal Democratic Republic of Ethiopia, our host, my brother, the President of Amhara region, President of Jamhuriyat Sudan al-Shaqiqa, General Abdel Fattah al-Burhan, Vice President of the Uganda, Excellencies, current and former heads of states and governments present here today, esteemed scholars and representatives, ladies and gentlemen, good morning. In Somalia, as many African countries, we discuss solutions and negotiate settlements for our problems under a tree. Sitting here today with my brothers and sisters from different parts of the continent under the tan foreign symbol of baobab tree assures me of the endurance of that spirit. As we mark 10th anniversary of the esteemed forum, I would like to congratulate and commend its organizers for staying true to that spirit and maintaining a significant platform that engenders frank discussions to explore African solutions to Africa's most pressing problems. Your Excellencies, we have saying in Somalia that says, "Ragowishis wa nabat," which translates to peace is the bed on which men can rest. Our continent is contending with unprecedented threats that impact the survival of our people, our landscapes, and the very existence of our nations. We can spend hours listening to these threats and analyzing their causes and effects. However, I believe in order to build resilience in our respective nations and in our continent as a whole, we must contend with two significant factors that could have the biggest impact in addressing any threat: connectivity and people. Ladies and gentlemen, in the one hand, an ever more connected world is bringing unconventional global challenges closer to our doorsteps, exposing our weaknesses and amplifying our fragilities. On the other hand, the lack of connectivity in our continent and in many cases within our nations as well is hindering our ability to pool our resources and individual advantages to respond to challenges adequately and collectively. The absence of adequate infrastructure and the inability to access basic services and economic opportunities only leads to exclusion, fuel conflicts, and threatens peace and stability. And as the COVID-19 pandemic demonstrated, infrastructure connectivity can play a significant role in preventing emergencies from becoming endemic. Therefore, we must underscore the importance of the connectivity in realizing our aspiration for sustainable peace and security. Your Excellencies, ladies and gentlemen, here in our rich continent, the most significant asset we own is our people. Yet, climate change is posing existential risks to every living being, driving food insecurity, igniting dangerous conflicts, and causing mass displacement. Each day, our communities struggle to adapt to this extraordinary challenge, they are yet again faced with other threats such as terrorism, radicalization, and violent extremism. In our experience, the only way to withstand such a challenge is to involve the people who are, at the end of the day, the ones with the real power to bring about lasting and a fundamental change. In Somalia, for example, the failure of 4 consecutive rainy seasons has caused one of the most severe droughts in living memory. Its impact on the people, however, has been exacerbated by the deliberate inhuman acts of the terrorist group Al-Shabaab by isolating communities, cutting off main supply routes, burning wells, and destroying crops. Al-Shabaab have directly and deliberately contributed to the worsening of the dire humanitarian situation in my country. And when people had enough, they rose up to expel this cancer from their midst. Dulmidid, the rejection of any form of oppression, the name given to the current and ongoing offensive against Al-Shabaab and the similar terrorist groups in Somalia. It takes root in our new comprehensive strategy to liberate people, their territories, properties, and lands from grips of violent extremism. The core component of this strategy is our people. My brothers and sisters, our administration envisions a Somalia at peace with itself and at peace with the rest of the world. And as we nurture cohesion within our societies through reconciliation and the political settlements, we also prioritize peace and security. Hence, as soon as we took office, we denounced the strategy of containment and announced a comprehensive offensive against terrorism in Somalia, taking the fight to them ideologically, financially, and operationally. To cleanse the minds of misguided people, we mobilized religious scholars to challenge the malicious misinterpretation of Islam. To curb their fundraising capacity, we directly targeted their extortion networks and infrastructure and implemented strict mitigation measures. And as we launch our operational campaign, local communities organized themselves at a grassroots level, took up arms, and with the help of our SNA force, liberated their towns and villages. We may have lost many heroes in this process, but in the past 3 months only, terrorists have been eradicated from an area covering 150 kilometers in central and southern Somalia, a significant victory worth celebrating. Dulmidid is at its earliest stages. However, its success so far can serve as a proof of concept for a model of promoting peace and security through the effective engagement, empowerment, and mobilizing of local communities. It would be great to see this model replicated everywhere. Innocent people are suffering at the hands of the ruthless gangs attributing misguided nations to religious ideologies in order to oppress and enslave communities. Our people are the key to attaining this peace, stability, and prosperity we aspire to. Our role as their leaders is to provide them with support and instill a positive shift in their mindsets that will encourage them to take constructive actions. In conclusion, please accept my sincere gratitude for the opportunity to share my thoughts in this unique platform. Thank you very much.